In the pre-dawn hush of Ouagadougou, a darkness deeper than night cloaked the city. The stars had long since faded behind a Sahel sky swollen with dust, and the moon, absent, left the landscape shrouded in anticipation. At the far edge of the international airport, a private hangar pulsed with concealed energy. Its floodlights dimmed deliberately low, revealing just enough to operate too little to invite suspicion. Inside, where the air reeked of engine oil and cigar smoke, the atmosphere was both electric and smug. Beneath the riveted steel ribs of the hangar, something extraordinary was unfolding. A sleek Gulfstream G650 waited on the tarmac, its pearlescent body glowing faintly like a ghost in the dark. The plane's bay door yawned open, revealing a team of handlers, faces stern, movements rehearsed, loading long metal crates marked technical mining equipment. A closer glance revealed the insignia of Tobacco Mine, the state-run facility deep in Burkina Faso's gold-rich soil. But there were no tools inside. Each crate cradled bricks heavy, shimmering, stamped with government seals. $80 million in gold, the future of a nation. Wrapped in deception. Around the crates stood men who believed themselves immune to consequence. A portly customs director, his handshake notoriously expensive, a European tycoon with salt and pepper hair, and shark grey eyes, swirling a flute of champagne as though it were his birthright. A Malian arms broker, expression flat, calculating risk even in celebration. They murmured in French, German, and English tones of confidence, not caution. To them, this was a victory lap. Months of bribes, forged permits, offshore accounts, and diplomatic seals had led to this moment. The jet, registered in the Cayman Islands under a phantom logistics firm, would disappear into international airspace, its cargo buried in Swiss vaults by dawn. In the center of the hangar, glasses clinked to silence, said the tycoon, and gold. Their laughter, low, satisfied, dangerous, echoed through the cavernous space. One of the men lifted his phone and tapped play. Opera music filled the background, swelling with the gravity of what they believed was an untraceable, perfect crime. None noticed the slim black box nestled between crates, blinking quietly, a camera, streaming live. Their certainty was a weakness. Elsewhere, in a modest home in Ouagadougou's outskirts, a lamp buzzed above a kitchen table cluttered with papers, satellite images, and a single brown envelope. President Ibrahim Traoré sat alone. No IDs or no generals, just silence and memory. The night air drifted through his open window, carrying with it the scent of dust and she trees. He wore a plain cotton shirt, elbows on the table, eyes focused. On one photograph, Amina, a 10-year-old girl from Kaya, her hair braided neatly, a notebook clutched to her chest. She looked up at him weeks ago with wide, searching eyes and asked, "Why do they steal our gold while our school has no books?" That question, simply, direct, inassuérable, had struck him with the force of a bullet. He had heard it before, not in words, but in the tears of farmers with cracked hands, in mothers choosing between malaria medicine and rice, in schoolrooms without chairs, without roofs, without futures. Traoré did not see these stories as data points, they were wounds. And tonight, he would stop the bleeding. His intelligence network, stitched together through loyalty, not money, had traced the conspiracy meticulously. Every forged document, every bribed official, every late-night call made from the Tobacco Mine's satellite phone. Colonel Min Sao had returned from exile to lead the operation. Once vilified for denouncing government theft, Sao had found redemption in Traoré's vision. Together they had prepared not just to intercept a crime but to reveal it in its entirety. At 3:48 a.m. The G650's engines growled to life. Ground crew cleared the strip. Inside the cockpit, 2 foreign pilots ran through takeoff protocol, confident they would be over Mauritania in less than an hour. The tycoon adjusted his cufflinks and prepared to toast again. Then, darkness, a total blackout, engulfed the airport. The whir of engines faltered. Emergency lights clicked on, but the runway remained dead. Confusion rippled across the hangar like heat outside. A sound grew louder, trucks, maybe 3 or 4, their engines rising in unison. Then came light, not soft, but blinding. Military floodlights ignited like judgment. Soldiers fanned across the tarmac, rifles at the ready, boots pounding like thunder. And then they saw him, Ibrahim Traoré, Saint-Chasseur, not in presidential regalia but in fatigues, stood before the jet, a sealed envelope in his left hand, his right clenched. At his side he said nothing. He did not need to. The pilots froze. The customs official began to sweat. The tycoon, still gripping his champagne, narrowed his eyes, but the ice in his veins began to crack. Traoré stepped forward. "Gentlemen," he said in a voice firm and steady, "you are carrying gold that belongs to the people of Burkina Faso. You will not leave this ground." He handed the envelope to a nearby officer. It was an executive order, signed that morning, designating the gold a matter of national security, not just blocked, confiscated, legal, binding, irreversible. The soldiers moved in, one by one. The conspirators were disarmed, and not violently, but with an authority impossible to question. Sao appeared behind Traoré, nodding once. The mission was clean. By sunrise, the crates had been transferred to a secure facility under military guard. But Traoré wasn't finished. At 6 a.m., a national broadcast began. Every station in the country cut to the same feed. A warehouse, live. In front of the camera stood the same brown crates. With deliberate care, one was opened. Camera zoomed in. A soldier lifted a single gold brick, turning it to reveal the Tapaco stamp. The room fell silent. Then another was revealed, and another, each one a piece of truth to long buried. In homes, markets, schools, and mosques, Burkinabe citizens watched in disbelief. Some wept, others cheered. In Kaya, Amina huddled with classmates around a flickering television, her mouth open in awe. Her president had answered her question not with words, but with justice. The streets filled with people. Students marched with flags red-green and gold waving defiantly under a rising sun. Chants of justice rang out across the capital. Hashtags surged on global platforms. Hashtag TRA or E, acute triumph. Hashtag our gold, our future. News agencies scrambled to verify the footage, but there was no need. The truth radiated with undeniable clarity. The aftermath was swift. Colonel So's team released findings: secret tunnels at Tapaco, layers of shell companies, Swiss banks involved in laundering. Names were named, arrest warrants followed. The customs chief, foreign executives, complicit ministers. The web unraveled in days. Traoré refused to hoard the power of victory. He created the Transparent Recovery Fund. Every cent of the reclaimed $80 million publicly accounted for. A panel of citizens, religious leaders, opposition voices, and journalists oversaw the money. Projects began immediately. In Kaya, school was rebuilt. Whitewashed walls, new books, solar panels on the roof. On the entrance arch, painted in bold black letters, "Our gold, our future." In the north, new wells brought clean water. In the east, farmers received seed grants and fertilizers. Clinics reopened, roads were repaved, and each time a new project launched, a gold brick replica or real was placed at the center as a reminder. This was stolen, and now it's returned. Globally, shockwaves spread. European banks froze accounts under pressure. The Cayman Islands launched inquiries. Unobservers arrived, stunned by the transparency. Traoré addressed the world beside the grounded jet. "This gold is the future denied to our children, the healthcare stolen from our elders." His words echoed through parliamentary halls and student rallies from Accra to Caracas. Years passed, but the momentum never faded. By 2030, Burkina Faso had launched its first technology hub. A Burkinabe electric vehicle rolled off an assembly line in Bobodoylassa, powered by local lithium, engineered by local graduates. Amina, now 21, led a sustainable mining initiative in the south. Her research reduced runoff pollution and tripled local employment. In 2035, the world gathered in Oslo. Traoré, older now but unchanged in principle, accepted the Nobel Peace Prize, not for ending war, but for ending theft. He looked out over the audience, then to the medal in his palm, and said, "Justice doesn't shout. It arrives with truth." And in Ouagadougou, beneath a rising sun and the hum of schoolchildren reciting lessons in clean, well-lit classrooms, the people knew their gold had been returned. But more than that, their dignity had been restored. The legend of the stopped jet was taught in every Burkinabe school, not as fantasy, as fact. Proof that one night a president stood between a plane and a people's stolen future, and chose the people.